will make the post condition happen. Okay, this one, I don't think we want to go through this one. This one is, okay, the only tricky part about this one is this statement here. Okay, we have invoke S2, okay, but in order to invoke S2, we have to invoke S2 with 0 going to n, and the result of that is used to fed to this n here. So is that tricky or not?
So does that mean you do the right side and invoke first, the one?
You have to do the innermost one first, okay? So I would just do a partial trace with this one, because I don't think you have to finish. I have to finish the entire thing. The only tricky part is what do we do on line 9. So once we are done with, once we get to the outer invocation, the rest you can take care of, pretty easily. So we'll go ahead and just do a part of this, but not the entire thing, because I want to move on to one of the other ones. Okay. Was there a question? No. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead with this one. Comments, line number. There's no precondition to really say because there are no global variables. We start execution on line 9. Okay, what do we do on line 9? Ultimately, I want to print the result of the invocation. But then it gets a little bit tricky because I can't deal with the outer invoke statement until I'm done with the inner invoke statement. So what do I do next? Well, we know that we have to invoke S2, don't we? Okay, so the question is, which S2 are we invoking? Are we invoking this one?
The inner one.
The inner one, very good. So that tells me that I need, whenever I invoke S2, I need one column for return info, one column for my parameter n. What should I use for n in this case? 0. That's an easy one. Okay. Oops. What should I use? What should I write as my return info? I'm supposed to go back to line 9 after it's done. The print is not done yet. And what else?
Question mark.
Uh-huh. Very good.
It's n, or becomes n.
That's it. Very good. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and actually do this. Once we replace the question mark with a particular value, the rest is just, plain, simple, subroutine invocation. So now we can go back into the subroutine. We check n equals to 0 is actually true. We go to line 4. Line 4 is the execution of a return statement. We copy, we paste the return info cell, change the question mark to a 1, and we are done with line 4. After line 4, we get out of the conditional statement. We go to line 8. That's the end of this invocation. These columns are now deallocated. We go back to line 9. But line 9 is now, it looks like C6, cell C6. C6 is telling me that I still have one more invocation to deal with. Can I deal with it now? Can I invoke? Sure, because I know the parameter is supposed to be 1. So we go ahead and try and reallocate a column for return info, another column for n. And because this specifies 1 as an argument to n now has a value of 1. The other side is just 9 print question mark, because the outer invoke is what I'm dealing with now, and as a result, the entire invocation is replaced by a single question mark. Then we proceed to the first line of the subroutine on line 3. Do you guys want me to go through this or not? Yeah, this one would be pretty quick because it's just one more level of invocation. So because this is false, we go to line 6. Yeah, the tricky part is already done. The rest is really not that bad. Okay? So are we doing okay with this one? I'll leave it like this, because I want to spend some time on some of the other questions. So we'll go ahead and save this one and leave it the way it is. If you guys want me to finish it, send me an email and I will finish it and you upload the actual solution. I think most of you can do it by yourselves. Do it by yourselves first and send me an email if you want to make sure that's the result.
Just to say what's gonna go next, because we have another return 1 plus walk. So should we just what does return 1 mean? That we have just one return?
You have to, when you specify the return info, you have to specify return 1 plus the question mark. Because the question mark replaces the invocation, it becomes a placeholder so that you know where to put the return value of that invocation. Okay, so this one is really not that convoluted. Okay, it does have recursion, except it has a loop in place of a conditional statement when we do recursion. Okay. I don't think this one is too difficult. I'll leave it on the screen for now because I want to talk about the other one, question number 4. This one combines subroutine invocation with arrays, okay, which is the first time we see it, but it's not that different from passing by reference in the usual way. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this one. This one has no recursion. Okay, I don't want to combine recursion with passing an array by reference. It has no new concept, but a new combination of concepts. Okay, in other words, we have seen everything that we need to know to get this done. It's just that we have not combined those particular elements in a single program before. All right, so let's go ahead and just run this program. This one has no recursion, so it's not that difficult. Okay, this is line 15. Line 15 is the first line. Oops, I have to save it first. And you guys can tell me whether it is actually conceptually difficult or not. After the trace. If I ask before the trace, it's going to be yes, it is difficult. If I ask after the trace, the answer may be different. On line 15, we invoke the subroutine. Okay, so this time we need a return info because I'm printing the result at the end. We also need to specify 1 column per parameter as well as local variable. We have a as a parameter, we have I as a parameter, and we have x as a local variable. Local variable is the easy one. It always starts with an unknown. I starts with 2 because that's what the invoke statement wants to specify. And A is an alias of B. Okay, so now this is the first time we have seen something like this. It is still an alias, except it is not an alias of a single column anymore. It is now an alias of a range of columns. That's the only difference. That's the only difference when we pass an array by reference. We just say it is a reference to not a single column, but a bunch of columns. Is that okay? Okay. That's basically, this is what makes this particular algorithm unique, is it's a combination of these two concepts. Return info, we have dealt with that already. We just specify line 15. It is a print statement, except what I want to print is unknown at this point. The rest of the program is nothing more than the usual, conditional statement and loops and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and take a look at what it does. It won't take long. After we are done with setting up columns H all the way up to K, we go into the subroutine starting on line 5. Line 5 initializes X, so it has the same value as I. That means X column K has a value of 2. On line 6, we are incrementing I by 1. I goes from 2 to 3. On line 7, we evaluate.
You gotta drop it down 1.
Yeah, the 3 you put on.
The 3
line
just.
five.
Oh,
put it on
okay,
the next
sorry.
one. Yeah.
Thank you. And on line 7, we evaluate the condition. I is less than bar A bar is. What is bar A bar?
The number of elements. It's 5. It's
By
the
a
number
bar,
of elements.
exactly. Bar A bar is 5 because A refers to column C to column G, and there are 5 columns here. In other words, the array has 5 elements. And as a result, bar A bar, which is the same as bar B bar, is 5. 2 is less than 5 is true. Okay, so we go into the loop here. We start with line 8. Line 8 is asking, is A bracket I greater than A bracket X? Well, we have to see what is I. I is 3. A bracket I is the same as B bracket I, which is B bracket 3. It has a value of 7. And X is 2. A bracket X is the same as B bracket X, which is B bracket 2. It has a value of 3. So the comparison is true. Very good. That means we have to go into the conditional statement, and all we do inside the conditional statement on line 9 is to make a copy of I to X. So now X has the same value as I, 3. We get out of the conditional statement, we go to line 11, which it adds 1 to I becomes 4. At the end of a loop, we always go back to the beginning, which in this case is line 7. Line 7 is asking I less than bar A bar, is that true or is that false? It is still true because I is 4, bar A bar, which is the same as bar B bar, is 5. Then we go to line 8 again. Line 8 is once again asking A bracket I is greater than A bracket X is... It is false this time because I has a value of 4, B bracket 4 has a value of 1, X has a value of 3, A bracket X, which is B bracket X, has a value of 7. 1 is greater than 7 is false. That means we skip over the entire conditional statement. We go to line 11. Line 11 is just adding 1 to I goes from 4 to 5. Then we go back to line 7 again. And line 7 is asking I is less than bar A bar. Is that true or is that false? It's false this time because I is 5 and so is bar A bar. 5 is less than 5 is false. So we get out of the loop altogether. We end up on line 13. Line 13 is a return statement. It returns the value of X. X has a value of 3 in this case. So that means we have to do what? What do we do when we execute a return statement?
Look for the rightmost return info.
Yep, we locate the rightmost return info cell, we copy and paste it, we change the question mark to the value that we are returning. What are we returning again? 3, very good. And we are done with the return statement. Then we go to line 14. Line 14 is the end of the subroutine. We deallocate all the columns that we allocated earlier. And then we go back to the line that return info tells me to return to, which in this case is line 15. And line 15 now looks like this. We just want to print the value of 3. We are done. Just like that. So it's not too bad, once you know how to pass an array by reference. Instead of referring to a single column, it now refers to a range of columns. Yep.
If it was by value, you'd have to copy the whole. If it was by value, you'd have to copy the whole array, right?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about passing.
That would just be confusing.
Yeah, there are ways to get around that one, and C does not support it either. In C and C++, you cannot pass an array by value. The only way to pass an array as a parameter is by reference.
That is a good idea.
So you don't have to worry about your passing an array by value because it is not supported by the language itself.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so this one is done. Do you guys want me to go back and finish the other one?
Yeah. That's wrong.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and deal with this one. I think in 15 minutes or so we can deal with this one. This one is not really particular.